Hey guys, welcome back to JordanSamuel Skin Talks. It's been a second. Let's get into it. I have a long list of things. How shall we start? I mean, I have things to show you. We have things to talk about. Hope you've been well. Hope the summer's been well. Hope your skin's treating you well. Let's see. Let's start with everyone's skin has an agenda. This comes from something, it's basically a reiteration of what I always talk about, which is we can look at science and we can look at nature and we can look at all these studies and we can look at X, Y, and Z and we can look at that this is supposed to do that, and then your skin just doesn't work out with it. And that's okay, because first of all, the skin has its own agenda. So, for instance, skin cells, and I've talked about this before, now they're finding that it's not really true because of certain lives of the skin cell and different parts of the cell. But, you know, on average, skin cells turn over every 28 days, which is what gives you that smooth, beautiful, luminous skin that slows down as we age. That was one big run-on sentence. The cell turnover slows down as we age. Anyway, which is why we start doing things like retinols and exfoliants and all of that stuff. And while it's great, just remember that your skin has its own sort of individual, well, it does, DNA, of course, duh. But I see people get really frustrated online thinking something really should be working for them. Say, for instance, they really feel that lactic should be the acid for them, and it just for whatever reason doesn't work for them, and that's okay. We all have different allergies, we all have different sensitivities. I love to stumble over sensitivities. I don't know if you remember, like last year, sensitivities, lactic acid, sensitivities and intolerances, whether it's external or internal. And I get really frustrated when people are like, yes, no, but it's science, and you see there's this study and it says that it's this, and yes, I get that, and I can read and I can understand, and I'm an esthetician and I work with 2 different chemists and I get all of that. It's yay. But again, I can also come back to you with the exact opposite of the study, like you can with anything online. And I really think it's easier for people because a lot of people know that there's obviously like foods that they're allergic to, or you know, for instance, like an antibiotic you're allergic to. It's the same thing with skincare, but I feel like people can't equate it, and I don't know if it's because it's on the skin and it's not an internal thing, but even though it's on the surface, skin is still reacting and skin is still an organ, and we have to remember that. And so don't be hard on yourself. You know, for instance, retinol aldehyde, that was actually going to be what I used in my A12 with retinol instead of just pure retinol. And I had a blind test from my lab of like 3 or 4 different, I think it was 3, oils, and all with different types of retinol palmitate, retinol aldehyde, blah, 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 blah. And retinol aldehyde gave me like a hive-like reaction. And so while it's touted as this wonder thing, I can't use it. And I know I've talked about that before with Paula of Paula's Choice, and that she really can't use retinols either. Any retinol, I think. So keep that in mind. Not everything is for everybody. And an older video with Lorraine Massey where she said don't go, or don't seek what is not meant for you. It's so true, and just keep remembering that, and don't be hard on yourself, and just find your perfect story and your perfect balance, and don't let brands, including myself, and don't let educators and scientists and chemists and estheticians and dermatologists, and I am lumping myself in all of, well, I'm not all of that, but an esthetician, obviously, and a brand owner. You still have to find what works for you. So I'm gonna keep banging that point, yeah. Driving that point home, banging it home too. Driving it home, because it's something that I think we very easily forget and we get frustrated by, and when we see somebody getting a new product or having beautiful skin from X, Y, and Z and we can't use it, it's frustrating. I get it, I understand, but and with that too, all of those studies and products and everything, you can take, let's say 10 dermatologists Not every single one of them is going to agree on product, on ingredient, on application, on frequency, on treatment. Same thing with estheticians, same thing with chemists. And while I understand that that makes it frustrating, at the same time there is sort of a liberation to it, because then you can take all of that and then put that freedom into your own hands and pick out what works for you. Does exfoliating once a week, is that your happy spot? Perfect. Just because a brand says 2 to 3 weeks, you might be 1 week. Again, we can't write for every single person on the back of a bottle or even on a website. So you have to find, you know, there are guidelines. Yes, you want to exfoliate. Exfoliate? Yes. Need the wine. Yes, you want to cleanse your face. Yes, you want to wear SPF. Yes, you know, retinol is great. Antioxidants are great. There are things that are great that we need if you can use them. And then find your right balance with exfoliation. Is it just a washcloth? Are you that sensitive? Is it lactic acid? Is it glycolic? Is it just enzymes? And yeah, I'm gonna keep banging that home, because I think it's something that I think people will see somebody's skin react wonderfully to something and they want their skin to react to. I mean, it's no different than, I'm sure we've all taken, bald head, a picture into a hairstylist and said, oh, I want my hair to look like this. But it's only gonna look like you look like. You know, you can't, not everybody could have the Rachel from Friends hairstyle if they had a certain type of hair or a certain type of texture. So you get the point, you get the point. I shut up now, just for that topic, not in general. And also too, with not only skin having its own agenda, every brand and every person has its own agenda too. Remember, if something, and me included again, so I'm not blurting this out there and saying like, oh no, but I'm fine. Every brand, every chemist, dermatologist, everybody has their own agenda. I mean, even with the companies and the chemists I work with, they start by saying, oh, have you tried this ingredient? Have you played around with this ingredient? Because it's something that they like or they love or they have found to work. So of course they hear them out. Does that mean it's going to necessarily work for me? No. Or for you? No. So also remember that even though you feel like you really believe in somebody, or really, they might be coming from a truly honest place, for instance, like I would be, and like others I know would be, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Great to try out if you're able to and you have the budget to, but just grain of salt. Please and thank you. So I said I was going to shut up about that matter, but I didn't, so now. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's see, we covered that because that was that. You know, another one is I get a lot of questions on, hey, can you mix vitamin C and niacinamide? Can you mix vitamin C and retinol? Can you mix alpha hydroxy acids and retinol? While there are a lot of myths about that stuff, and I do believe, and I've talked about many things that you can mix that are myths, just because you can mix something doesn't mean you should. And I know I've spoken about this before. Again though, just because it's like, oh, that's okay, doesn't mean you should. Are you mixing it and it works for your skin? Stay on that track. Are you mixing it and it's making your skin worse? Do not go there. I think it's worth checking out, and I think it's worth doing, and I think it's worth trying. But again, usually like implementing one thing, and then once you feel like, oh, that retinol is really good, my skin does really good with that retinol, let's try to do maybe something, a treatment before it, whether it's a light alpha hydroxy acid or something. Don't go in right away with, oh, I've never tried retinols and I'm only on a light acid, let's do acid retinol every single night. Baby steps, please. You know what, it's a little bit tortoise and hare. It takes longer doing it baby steps at a time, but the thing is, the second you have a reaction, you will know what it is from, and you can cut it out, and you can minimize the damage and the irritation and the inflammation on your skin. So please do that. Thank you. Another thing I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned on here, oh, I did mention on here because I said like, oh, I have exciting news. And then some people had teased that found out about the news, which was I was going to be in a retailer coming in September, and So a little bit about that. I am still direct to consumer. That's not going to change my prices. It was going to be what I consider a marketing retailer, meaning I would be there for visibility. I wouldn't really be making any money, but I'd be there for people to come and try the product and get the name of the brand out. The thing is that still wears on a direct to consumer brand that does not have the correct margins. And to sort of oil that machine correctly, I would have to be in many places at once while still trying to see my clients, while still trying to provide you guys with the best customer service via social media, while still trying to do videos, which clearly I cannot do that many of, and bring out new products and have life. And so, and first and foremost, the direct-to-consumer-ness of the brand, and you guys come first. And I think you know that, and I made the decision. It didn't feel right. I sat on it for a little bit after I had already said yes to the store. And I'm no longer going to be in that store. I never was. I mean, I had signed the contract, but it just isn't right. We are staying direct-to-consumer. That allows me to have the best possible product at the most affordable price. I don't like to call it cheap, but it is a great value for what you're getting. Just wanted to say that. Let's see, I think we're getting into talking about some fun things now. I want to make sure we're getting all the, yeah, okay. There was an interesting conversation about cleansing and about should we do a morning cleanse, should we not do a morning cleanse. It goes back to the beginning of the video. I believe there's many products out there that have a really great blend of ingredients that are great as a super gentle sort of, almost like a face rinse. So not necessarily a toner, but a cleanser that is just super gentle, that is not high in surfactants or detergents, or even an oil cleanser that's really dissolving stuff. It's more of just a second cleanse or a really gentle morning cleanse. So I do believe that most people should be cleansing morning and night. I do not think that you need to be doing a double cleanse if you are not wearing makeup. Even with a lot of SPF, if you're going in with a good oil-based cleanser, or even a good surfactant-based cleanser that can remove makeup too, and then you follow it up with a washcloth, you do not need to go. You can over-cleanse, and as Andy, I think it's pronounced Millward. I do not know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. He's on Instagram. He's a facialist. He's based in the UK, and he's fabulous. But one of his posts a while ago was, which I completely stand by, is over-cleansing is just as detrimental, if not more so, I think, than under-cleansing. Same thing with exfoliating. Same thing with, you get the point. So that is a very, very fine topic about cleansing. So I do believe that you should be cleansing morning and evening. I do believe in the morning you don't have to go crazy. You certainly are not. You should not be double cleansing in the morning. I don't think you need to use a washcloth in the morning either. Washcloth abuse. Well, I shouldn't even call it, I don't think it's necessarily washcloth abuse, but I think overuse of washcloth mixed with overuse of acids, mixed with overuse of retinols, mixed with overuse of vitamin C. There's irritation and inflammation and sensitivities on the surface of the skin and that red, raw texture and feeling. So minimize that when you can, and when you can is in the morning. So anyway, but again, your skin is your skin. Is your skin doing great with just waking up and splashing it with water and maybe doing a warm wet washcloth and then going in with the rest of your products? Yay. Like seriously, stay with that, please. Does your skin need a cleanse in the morning? Also perfect, please stay with that. And if you aren't happy with your skin routine and you want to play around with it and then see what works best for you. I do find that because I am a stickler with SPF, that if you cleanse in the morning, you have a cleaner slate, no pun intended, for your SPF. And I feel like it goes on better and it stays better and it does what it's supposed to do better. Okay. Okay, I think we're into the fun stuff now. So, on Instagram, I think you guys saw that I got the Nurse Jamie pillow. God. Okay, so the whole idea behind this is they have this sort of neck support here to really sleep on your back, because one of the best ways to sort of avoid wrinkly, crinkly, collagen broken down skin is sleeping on your back. But as we know, a lot of us can't do that, and it's uncomfortable. So I will say this has a wonderful support system, I know you can't see that, for the neck, for you to sleep on your back. And then this part, what am I doing? Let's see. Then here, like if you were sleeping on your side, oh, your face isn't scrunched into the pillow. And it's satin, so it's super nice in product, and natural oils aren't gonna absorb into this, so it's gonna stay on the skin. Love it for naps, but I find for a good night's sleep, I haven't been able to make it through the night with this yet. I've only had it for a week, so I wasn't expecting miracles. And this isn't something that obviously you're gonna use and be like, oh, my face doesn't have wrinkles anymore. It's not that. Great idea, love it. I just need to get more comfortable with it. Like I said, great for naps, great for short bursts of sleeping. Yeah, short bursts of sleeping. And it looks funny, but it's nice. Jury's still out. Idea is fantastic. And I totally am in agreement about everything with why she created it. It's just for me, it's a little hard to sleep. And I would rather get the good night's sleep then. Oh, well, this came in the camera, so we'll see this. So this is the new JordanSamuel face cloth that will soon be coming with, well, no, it won't be coming with, you can purchase it, but I will be doing a special on it. It's 12 by 12, so it's a perfect size. It is facial microfiber on the front, and a really, like super plush terry cloth on the back. This, for people who've had trouble removing plie or don't like the feeling of having that moisture left behind with plie, this will be your answer without scratching the skin, without creating irritation. Microfiber almost acts like a magnet. I think that's the best way to put it, with removing product and dirt and oil and grime without scratching or irritating the skin. So, and this will, what's so sad is this is empty, but this will be after show balm cleanser. So this is what it will be in. It is a 3-ounce jar. I wanted to have something that was a little bit more, well, I wanted 3 ounces because that's what plie is. I like that you can travel with it and bring it on as a carry-on. And I didn't want 2 ounces, I felt that wasn't enough, but I didn't want the jar to be big and bulky either. So we come up with this. We came up with this, and it is plastic, but nice and firm. And there'll be a label here, and a label here, and the yumminess will be in here. And that should be coming out soon, very soon. Completely rinsable balm cleanser. You do not need a washcloth, so I'm sort of referencing it. Liz Alaska inspired me to create this, as I wanted to create a completely rinsable balm cleanser. As we all know, sometimes when we use our acids and our retinols and our vitamin C's and everything in between, that the skin can get surface sensitive and inflamed and red and irritated. But we still want to use a nourishing cleanser, and we still want to massage it in and work on muscle tone and bring up healthy circulation. But then there's the struggle of using a muslin cloth or a washcloth to remove it, creating more irritation and inflammation, like I talked about earlier with the overuse of washcloth. So this is what I wanted to tackle with my lab and chemist, and we did. The emulsifying system is lovely and beautiful, including sunflower seed wax, jojoba esters, and 2 wonderful biodegradable emulsifiers. There's cucumber extract, so there's a light cucumber scent, and squalane and olive oil to remove dirt, oil, grime, and makeup. There's another ingredient or 2 that I'm missing. Super straightforward and wonderful and beautiful and lovely. I'm all out of it, so I'm angry about that. And lastly, the little bit that's not coming like this. So this is the Performance Cream, which is a tripeptide blend of 2 type of hexapeptides and octapeptide, as well as the base is green tea water. How amazing is that? Sodium hyaluronate, glycerin, olive leaf extract, which if you've seen my videos with Jane, you've heard me talk about, chamomile extract, vegetable glycerin. The same beautiful emulsifying system that's in this is in this as well, plus, well, preservative, and xanthan gum for texture, rising, and that's it. It's going to come in a 2-ounce tube, so plie is a 3-ounce tube, so a similar white tube like that, but 2 ounces. And, well, let's see, I'll pour it on the back of my hand. Now this is, well, it's good, I guess. I mean, there's hardly anything left. Of course, so both things, this has a light cucumber aroma, but sent it through extract. It is not essential oil and it is not fragrance. This is completely unscented. No essential oil, no aromatic extracts, no fragrance. Super, super light. This is sort of going to be a perfect skin restoring, water binding, healing, peptide moisturizer for an oilier skin type. Layer this with hydrate and your skin's going to be perfect. If you're drier, you might need to put a few drops of A12 or A12 with retinol in, but that is perfect. It leaves no residue. It absorbs right in. It is your performance cream because all the world's a stage. It has been so nice talking to you guys. I thought this video was going to be shorter than this, or I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I just blab and blab and blab. It's nice being back. Hopefully I will have a new video out sooner than later. As always, you are all fabulous. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful summer. I can't wait to share the new goodness with you. Mwah. Bye guys. Thank you.